I'm the only person that's ever laid tile that has to stand up to do it. I can't get on my knees to do it, but it's got to get done. I'm actually able to almost get on my knees again because of this device. I've got so many things that this device is helping me do. This device is putting me into places I've never been for 50, 60 years.
Hey, Craig, thanks for coming to spend some time with me today.
Good to be with you.
Thank you. So can you start off by telling us a little bit about how you were feeling prior to coming to QHS?
Well, that's a long story. I don't know how long I got here, but one of the things about it is the short version of it is I've been a mess. I'm a handicapped vet, 100%. Every part of my body is at a level of 10 or 10 plus. And I've been dealing with this for about 60 years. And it's one of these things where I'm not going to complain to you because I've been dealing with this my whole life. And I've had 22 major surgeries on my back. I've had knees done, which was the biggest mistake of my life. They were trying to do that to help me with my PTS. I've got PTS that keeps me away from a lot of things. I could go on and on and on about the pains. I've got shoulders that are bad. I got fingers. I used to be for my PTS, I'll give you an insight. I didn't know what to do with myself. So I tried to find things that I could do to release a lot of my feelings that I had. And so I tried I've been an athlete all my life. And I was supposed to have been in the Olympics in 68, and I ended up going to Vietnam in 68. And it was one of these things where you just get caught up trying to be something. And there's a lot of things that you do and you try. And some of the things that I tried, I used to race cars. I used to play ball. I played with the White Sox when I got out. That there's things that I did. There's just a lot of things, Tracy, that you try to do to get rid of this thing that happened to me. My last 23 days in Vietnam, I was up doing some things in Vietnam to try to get rid of some of the people that were there that were creating some things and doing my job that I was to do. I'm a warrior, and I was doing things, and I got picked up. And as I got picked up in the helicopter, one of the enemies decided to shoot a rocket at the helicopter. I wasn't going to die in that helicopter, so I bailed out about 90 feet, and the helicopter got hit, killed the people that were there. I lived, man! But I have 90 feet in the air, kind of left me kind of a mess, and I've been living with all that my whole life.
So physically and mentally then, huh?
Yes, ma'am. So
wow.
I stayed away from the VA, stayed away from a lot of things because it's kind of hard when you're 20 years old to live with a lot of things. So when I met Deb through my life, I finally met her, and she helped me get through this PTS and understand some things. And she helped me get through the VA with the VA, and she was the one that got me started with them cutting me open and trying to put me back. I've lost 3 inches of height, 22 pounds of muscle, and everything, and this is what I got right now. But then I got the blue dot, and thank you, God, for what it's done to me. I have arthritis so bad that I don't know if you can see my fingers.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
But they're straightening out. You see this finger right here?
Mm-hmm.
See this one? See how crooked
Yeah.
it is? All of these are so crooked. And I woke up after the first week and this finger, see how straight it is?
Oh, yeah.
See how these are all crooked?
Mm-hmm.
They're way more crooked than they were, Tracy. This device is putting me into places I've never been for 50, 60 years.
When did you get it, Craig?
April 24th.
Of this year?
Yes.
Oh, wow. So just about 6 weeks ago.
And I've had my knees done in 2015. I can't even get on my knees with my grandkids, play horse and that sort of thing, things I can't do. I've been a general contractor all my life, self-employed all my life. I'm the only person that's ever laid tile that has to stand up to do it. I can't get on my knees to do it, but it's got to get done. I'm actually able to almost get on my knees again because of this device. I've got so many things that this device is helping me do. I only sleep 1 to 4 hours my whole life. And all of a sudden, I'm getting 5 to 7 hours of sleep a night.
Wow.
My pain level, I've lived with pain. I don't know if you've ever heard the word euphoric pain or not, but that's the pain that's past 10. If the doctors call it tragic pain, when you get involved in a car accident, you get this pain that is so great that everything just goes away because you're gonna die. And I have that pain to where I go to it because it's past 10. And it is, I'll have tears in my eyes, but I continue to just work because that's what I have to do. And it's something that I'm not going to sit there and wimp out and do stuff. I just create that. You just have to go forward. You just can't sit and worry about it. My life is about moving forward, not living in the past or worrying about anything. So I've learned how to deal with it. And this device is allowing me to understand things about me that I would have never thought about being able to do. And I've been having myself being able to suppress these feelings. And I'm probably a 6, maybe. Some of my body parts are like 2.
Wow.
And it's since April. I've got a shoulder, this one right here, that they wanted to replace because the socket and the ball, they can't because the socket is so bad. When I fell 8 feet off a scaffolding that broke, the weld broke, and I should be dead, but I landed on my head and this shoulder, and God is not ready to take me. So
You have work to do.
that's it. I lived through it, but the concussion that I have and the memory loss that I've had, my doctor has told me that I'll not be able to get past 85% of recovery with my brain. It's like, Tracy, I'll be out measuring numbers and I'll have like 36 and 5/16 of an inch, and I'll walk 5 feet and it goes away. And if I don't write it down, now because of this, I call it the blue dot. Blue dot allows me to remember, and I can walk into the backyard and measure and cut and do all this other stuff. And it's like so incredible how my memory is starting to come back. I don't have an elbow anymore. They tried to repair this arm, so they cut out the elbow and stuck pins in it and took the triangular piece of muscle off the tri and stuck it in there and had it calcify. And that's what I have. I just have a piece of muscle in here that's my elbow. And my doctor said that I would never be able to extend my arm. And I don't know, you can't probably see
Yeah,
that,
I can see.
but I can extend this arm because of this blue dot. And
Wow.
it's like, he said, if I extended it, out where I just showed you. I don't know if you can see it or not. It would separate that piece of muscle and I'd have to have prosthetics. What this blue dot has done is I can extend my arm just like this left one. I can move it like this without pain, Tracy. The pain for me to even pull it out to here would be at least a 9. I could put it out here. I still have some pain. It's like 6 or 7, but I just ignore it and let it go. But ever since I've had this, the body parts that just scream pain are not screaming pain anymore. There's still pain, but I just figure that I'm telling you this because I can talk to you about it, because what this blue dot has done for me is amazing. Every part of my body, when I hit that ground from somewhere, I don't know, I'm just saying 90 feet, it could have been higher, I don't know, but I lived. 7 people didn't. It's just hard. And I'm hoping that I can get the relief in my head as well as my body with everything else. And I've noticed so many different changes. I couldn't even talk about this at all. And I'm finding with my PTS guy that I see twice, every other Tuesday. And I'm able to keep myself at bay and have such a relief because of what this blue dot's doing for me. I could go on and on. I've got neuropathy. I'm able to start feeling the ground again with my feet. I can actually walk barefoot and actually realize that it's concrete or it's carpet. My eyes are so bad because of the fall that I had when the scaffolding broke. I can actually start seeing again. Glasses, I don't need to use my glasses hardly at all.
Wow.
The hardness of my body is starting to come back. I used to be 207 pounds of solid muscle, and that all kind of started going away. Like I said, I lost 3 inches of height and 22 pounds, and I'm starting to get back into a condition where I don't look 76 on my body anymore. I look halfway decent, and it's starting to feel really good. It's so remarkable what this blue dot has done.
That's just beautiful.
You can't even understand where I'm at, because you would have had to see the look before. And I can only imagine what the after is going to look like when I get in the bed.
Yeah. That's going to be amazing, because we're all going to be able to go back to being 30. But we'll have all those lessons and all of that experience, so we don't make the same stupid mistakes, right?
Well,
And we get to apply it to a whole fresh young body. What are you going to do?
My body at 30 was so messed up. I missed being 30 because Nam just took all that away. I had to deal with a body that was so broken at 20. I missed 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. It's going to be really nice to see what a 30-year-old body is actually going to do for me. I'm looking forward to it because I didn't have it to begin with. I don't know.
Well, you're going to have it. And what are you excited about? What do you want to do that you couldn't do at 30?
I would like to be 30. You understand? I would like to see what it's like to be 30 with what I did when I was 30. I was a general contractor in Arizona doing things with all the pain. I would like to be without it. I would like to go back to work again. And I would like to be a general contractor again and start doing things for people. I help so many people. I used to be a dental contractor. I designed and built dental offices, and I did a lot of work for people. I designed and built houses. I was an Architectural Digest 12 times.
Wow.
I did a lot of things for people. I used to coach. I used to, I got a lot of kids, got a lot of grandkids, and I used to coach my kids. I used to do a lot of things with the community. I was very out there because I had to do something to keep from worrying about the pain. So the more I worked, the more I played, the harder I worked, the harder I played, took me away from all that stuff.
Mm,
So now I'd like to do it and enjoy it. And not
yeah.
have to worry about the pain. It'd be
How
nice.
long have you been retired, Craig?
I'm not retired. My wife makes me not do things because this pain gets so bad that it's hard.
Mm,
So I've redone my kids' houses. I helped them with their houses. In fact, I went over to my son's house and redid his ceiling, drywalled. I'm still working. But I pay the price because
mm.
all that work, the body just continues to say, stop, stop, stop. And I tell the body, I'm not going to, I'm not going to, I'm not going to, because I love working.
Yeah.
And the healing part is, I know I'm supposed to relax and let the body heal itself. And I'm pushing it, but I'll sit there and I'll put the blue dot someplace and I get relief and it feels great. I need about 10 of these units on my body and I'd be amazing. But then I'm not going to complain. I really am not going to complain. I am so grateful to the whole crew of you that are doing that for so many. And some of these people that are out there that I've read about that are complaining and saying things, they just need to understand that what you guys are doing is amazing, and they need to just give thanks to you instead of saying anything bad about anything, and understand that in time, this will all change, and they just need to be patient.
Yeah, they just don't know. People don't know what they don't know.
Correct.
So it's just about helping them see through it and seeing what's possible, and testimonials like you give so many people hope, right? And you've just had it for such a short time. Can you imagine, 6 months from now?
Well, the thing is that I look at pain as just a thing. I've this thumb right here,
Yeah.
this has been broken so many times, it's unbelievable. And right now, the pain that's in this thumb is so great, you can't even imagine, because it's trying to heal. And typically this thumb hangs down. This thumb is now in the same position that this thumb is in. This thumb, and I could probably break it for you and bring it down and show you.
No.
No, I'm
It's
just telling you, my wife can't even believe this, because this thumb, when I do this, usually hangs down. This
Wow.
thumb is so healing right now that the pain that's in this is just unbelievable. I can't even pick up 10 pounds with my hand right now because the pain is so great. But it's this healing process. And I went over yesterday and I picked up 65 pounds and carried it. And it's just the pain that's in this arm right now is ridiculous, because I shouldn't have picked up 65 pounds with this hand. But the thumb, it's like the healing process is ridiculous. But it usually, when I hold my hand like this, you can still see it. It still wants to drag down a little bit, but it usually hangs to here because it's
Wow.
been broken, I don't know, more than 10 times. But since the 24th, this is what I've got right now. It is actually sitting there in a position that's crazy. I cannot believe this blue dot. I cannot believe it. But the
I
thing
love your
is,
name, the blue dot.
that's what I call That's what I call it. It's just, it's my pet name. So it gives me a smile. So that takes away the pain. It puts pleasure in your life. You need to understand balance. I'm a martial artist. Okay. So you have to understand balance. You have to have yin and you have to have yang. You have to have balance. So you're going to have pain. Then you got to have pleasure. You can sit there and have pain and pain and pain and tell everybody you got this and this and this, but you've got to put a smile on your face. You've got to let people know that you're happy. Nobody wants to hear that you're sad all the time. Just show some happiness. Tell people that you're grateful. And it's like, it is so much of a pleasure to meet you and see your long hair. I'm a long hair guy. Your hair, you know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
The thing is that I look at things for pleasure and I feel the pain, but I'm not going to sit there and tell you all about my pain, but I know you want to hear it.
Well, it's also the law of attraction, right? What you look for, you will find, you will find what you seek.
Yeah.
So it's all about that law of attraction is exactly what you're saying. So when you focus on the joy and the pleasure, you're going to bring more joy and pleasure into your life. The focus more on the pain, you're going to feel that pain more. So I applaud you with acknowledging that, because so many people it's a story. Can I share it with you really quick?
Sure.
There's this dog and he's sitting, he's at this general store with this old guy and he howls all day and all night. And finally, a stranger comes to town. And he's like, "Why is your dog howling all the time?" He goes, "Well, he's sitting on a nail." And the stranger goes, "Well, why doesn't he just get off of it?" And the old guy says, "It just doesn't hurt bad enough." So the moral of the story to me is that so many people, they complain and they complain and they complain, which perpetuates more stuff to complain about, but it doesn't hurt bad enough for them to do something to change it, So it goes back with that. People just don't know what they don't know.
You see, it's like my back, they've been doing the burning of nerves. I don't have anything between all of my L's. There's nothing there. It's bone on bone.
Wow.
My first 3 T's, there's nothing there. It's bone on bone. So everything that I do is so painful because that's all there is, and bone on bone, and that's what it is. So a couple of years back, I think it was 17, Abbott came out with this new deal. It was a transmitter that you would stick in, and they would connect all these things up to your nerves and put in your back. And I was the first one in Fort Collins to get this transmitter. Somebody had to be the guinea, and I'll try anything. So it doesn't bother me. I mean, it can either work or not work. So Mike Brown, I call him Mickey B, Dr. Mike Brown. He said, "We've got something. We want to try it. Would you like to try it?" I said, "I'll go for it, sure." So I got this transmitter. He stuck it in my back, and it worked great. 27 little 9 wires hooked up to T7, got it all stuck in my spine. Things about the size of a telephone stuck in the lower part of my back. It runs over the spinal cord and it runs up through the spinal cord with all the cords. I was actually able to get my pain from 10 plus down to like a 7, and which is cool.
Mm-hmm.
Worked for about 6-7 months. Then all of a sudden, my insides started to get messed up. And I was going to the bathroom 12 to 15 times a day. So I let that go. I just thought, well, something's else going on. I don't understand pain, so I just figured I'd just deal with it. So then Deb says, "You better go check it." So I got a hold of Mickey B and I went in to see him, and he took an x-ray of me, and he found out that the wiring harness had slipped off and gotten into some other nerves, which messed up my whole insides, all the organ. So he cut me open and reset it up, because the harness is supposed to be on a certain nerve thing inside the spine, and it had gotten on the wrong nerves portions. So it hooked me back up, went out there, was working great, and all of a sudden it started happening again. And I said, you know, this is getting to be nuts. So about around a year or something like that later, I said, look, and the VA had supported this thing to be done because there's a lot of guys that this would have worked for. And I said, look, it's not working. Pull this thing out of me. And he says, no, let's try something else. I said, no, we're not going to do this. I said, you need to take it out. So I was the first one to get it, and I was the first one to get it taken out. And I haven't had it in, and Abbott has created 3 more versions of it. Deb has a very good friend whose husband has had 4 of these units, and they still don't work.
Wow.
But some people can have it, some people didn't, but my body, they say, does not want anything in it. That's why my knees don't work. The knees don't work at all, because my body is just one of those bodies that just doesn't want to have anything in it. And
well, now you get to take all of that and have it be part of who you are.
Yeah, well,
you know, anything with the arc.
Yeah, here's the crazy thing is my scars on my knees are going away.
Wow.
I've had my right knee when that scaffolding, the weld broke on this scaffolding, and they tried to say that I broke the weld. It takes 70,000 pounds of pressure to break a weld, and they said I did it. I thought, great, if I did it, then I'm Superman. I'll acknowledge that. But anyhow, the thing is that I had Dr. Hunt here in Denver take a look at it the second time. He cut me open and he fixed the side of it that was broken. And the thing is, I've got two scars on this thing. The blue dot has gotten rid of part of the scars. It's so amazing. And I've only been on this thing since the 24th of April.
Oh, wow. That's cool to know.
Oh, it's great to know. I'm sitting there. I was going to the bathroom one day and I'm sitting there looking at my knees and I'm going, wait a second. Because especially this one on this left leg, it's got two that look like this. And now
go up higher. I can't see your hands.
They look like this.
Oh, okay. Got it. Mm-hmm.
Now the scars look like this.
Oh, wow.
You'll see a faint part of it. But they don't look like this. They look like this.
Wow, that's good to know, because I have a scar up my abdomen right here.
It's just absolutely incredible. I mean, and it's like I've got scars all over this hand from working, and they're going away too. It's like I'm one of these old guys that I used to stitch myself up when I worked, and I would just use black electrical tape and some Neosporin and go back to work. You know, it's just what we did. And my hands are just amazing looking right now because of what the blue dot's doing. This is incredible.
That's cool.
It is incredible.
Gosh, that's so great.
And it's like I was telling my wife, if they need a guinea pig to go in first and come out first, I'd be more than happy to be the first person to go through it and see if there's any problems. But that's just who I am.
Wow, Craig, that's amazing. What is my last question for you is, what is the number one thing that you are most excited about with like your future moving forward?
Well, God and I have a plan to live to be 103. We've already set that all up because I've got a lot of kids to take care of. I've got a lot of things that I haven't done. God's plan for me, I'm sure, is going to take to be that 103. So if I can live to 130, I'd be more than happy to be 130, because if there's anything I could do for y'all by being blessed, by going through this and starting at 30 to do what I missed and go forward, both with what God's hand is going to lay out for me, the footsteps that I need to fill that I missed. And if I can go back to work and do some great things that I didn't get to do because of my lack of skill set limits that I had, I want to fulfill those. And
Wonderful.
if I can, I made a lot of money. And if I can give some of that money back to y'all to help other people, then that's what I'd like to do.
Well, Cynthia would welcome that with open arms. I don't know if you've seen her latest announcement, but for members who've paid the $400 and want to become a golden VIP donor, they just
Are
make
already.
up. Oh, you are already? Okay,
Are already.
perfect. Yeah, she's just trying to bootstrap building more QArcs. So any donations people can do, she's welcoming them big time because she wants to keep building QArcs so we can open more centers.
Yeah. Well, that's the
So-
thing. Just, you know, there's a way of giving. I'm not a taker, I'm a giver. I've been a giver all my life. And I'd love to, with this new wife that I have, that is she's a dream.
Aw.
And where I'm at with you guys, I would love to be at 30 with what I did at 30, all beat up and crumpled. And
Yeah.
the way I was, if I can be fit like I was and start it all over again and making the kind of money I was making, I would be more than happy to give half to y'all. So it was amazing.
Wow.
And I'd love
Well,
to have that opportunity.
yeah, just imagine being able to do all the things that you love to do, that you've been able to enjoy all this time and not have the pain. How much more you would actually be able to accomplish, right?
Well, that's the thing, because what I accomplished back then, I was the top of the contractors that were in Arizona. I was the top 3. I was the 3rd guy, and I did it all sole proprietor. All these other guys had 20 and 50 attorneys. It was just me doing the right thing for everybody. And I just had the right feelings and the right people. I lost my closest friend about 2 years ago, Leo Hott. He died, and lost another close friend 2-3 months ago. That was the guy that I had back in college. And it's just a shame that some of these people are passing, but you know, I can do this, and I want to do this, and I've got the opportunity. So by the grace of God, it's going to happen.
You know, I will say this again, but like the fact that you survived that fall 60 years ago or whenever that was, tells me that you have work to do that will be on the other side of this. So that's
I do.
beautiful.
I
I feel the
survived
same way.
I survived the fall in my backyard. If you could have seen what I hit with my head, somebody else would have been. And I had just gotten back surgery done. I was setting up the scaffolding because people were going to come to the house and do the siding on my house. I just want to make sure it was correct. I fell. I should be dead. The people that would be there doing it, had I not gotten up and gotten the scaffolding set up, it was a fault of the scaffolding.
Yeah.
It was a bad deal.
I'm so sorry.
It's not about sorry. It's just the fact that I'm glad that God gave it to me and I took it. So
Well, now he's here to support you with your mission. So
amen.
that's a beautiful thing. All right, Craig. Well, I just want to say thank you so much for sharing your beautiful story. And I'm so thankful that your pain's decreasing in such a wonderfully short time. So thank you for sharing your story with us.
Well, thank you for being there. If it wouldn't have been for you guys, I don't know where I'd be, but well, I know where I'd be. It'd just be a painful experience, but I'm not going to look at it as being a bad thing. I have to look at it as being just a thing. You know what I'm saying?
Well, now you're going to come out on the other side of it, and it's just going to be a distant memory someday.
Amen. So, Casey, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Craig. Have a beautiful day.
You too.
And I'll see you on part 2 post QArc.
Yes, you will. Be looking forward to it.